Charlize Theron, born August 7, 1975, is a South African and American actress and producer. Personal life. In 2007, Theron became a naturalized citizen of the United States while retaining her South African citizenship. Theron has adopted 2 children, a daughter in March 2012 and another daughter in July 2015. That she has been interested in adoption since childhood, when she became aware of orphanages and the overflowing numbers of children in them. In April 2019, Theron revealed that Jackson, then 7 years old, is a transgender girl. She said of her daughters, "They were born who they are, and exactly where in the world both of them get to find themselves as they grow up, and who they want to be, is not for me to decide." She is inspired by actresses Susan Sarandon and Sigourney Weaver. She has described her admiration for Tom Hanks as a love affair and watched many of his films throughout her youth. Hollywood actors were not featured in magazines in South Africa, so she did not know how famous he was until she moved to the United States, which has been inferred as a factor of her down-to-earth attitude to fame after filming For That Thing You Do. Finished, Theron got Hank's autograph on her script. She later presented him his Cecil B. DeMille Award in 2020, in which Hanks revealed that he had a mutual admiration for Theron's career since the day he met her. Theron said in 2018 that she went to therapy in her 30s because of anger, discovering that it was due to her frustration growing up during South Africa's apartheid, which ended when she was 15. In 2019, Theron spoke about her method of working on roles. "Creating a physical identity together with the emotional part of the character," she said, "is a great tool set that adds on to everything else you were already doing as an actor. It's a case-by-case thing, but there is, to me, this beautiful thing that happens when you can get both sides, the exterior and interior. It's a really powerful dynamic. When preparing for a role, I almost treat it like studying. I will find space where I am alone, where I can be focused, where there's nobody in my house, and I can really just sit down and study and play and look at my face and hear my voice and walk around and be a fucking idiot, and my dogs are the only ones who are seeing that." Theron is a longtime fan of the English band Depeche Mode and was the presenter for their Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction in 2020. Early life. Theron was born in Benoni, in Transvaal Province, Gauteng Province since 1994, of South Africa on 7 August 1975. She is the only child of road constructionist Gerda, née Maritz, 16-18, and Charles Theron, November 27, 1947 to June 21, 1991, point 16-18. 34 of the Second Boer War military leader Danny Theron was her great-granduncle. 14 She is from an Afrikaner family, and her ancestry includes Dutch as well as French and German. Her French forebears were early Huguenots in South Africa. 14. She grew up on her parents' farm in Benoni, near Johannesburg. On June 21, 1991, Theron's father, an alcoholic, threatened both Charlize and her mother while drunk, physically attacking her mother and firing a gun at both of them. Theron's mother retrieved her own handgun, shot back, and killed him. The shooting was legally adjudged to have been self-defense, and her mother faced no charges. Theron attended Poetfontein Primary School, Laerskool Poetfontein, a period during which she has said she was not fitting in. She was frequently unwell with jaundice throughout childhood, and the antibiotics she was administered made her upper incisor milk teeth rot. They had to be surgically removed. Theron's permanent teeth did not grow until she was roughly 10 years old. At 13, Theron was sent to boarding school and began her studies at the National School of the Arts in Johannesburg. About her early life in her home country, Theron has said, "I grew up as an only child in South Africa, and there was turmoil in my family, but the surroundings were so great. I was usually barefoot in the dirt, no Game Boys, no computers, and we had sanctions, so there were no concerts. This meant you had to entertain yourself." Although Theron is fluent in English, her first language is Afrikaans. Career. Early work, 1991 to 1996. Although she saw herself as a dancer, Theron won a 1-year modeling contract at age 16 at a local competition in Salerno, Italy, and moved with her mother to Milan, Italy. After Theron spent a year modeling throughout Europe, she and her mother moved to the United States. They resided in New York City and Miami. In New York, she attended the Joffrey Ballet School, where she trained as a ballet dancer until a knee injury closed this career path. As Theron recalled in 2008, "I went to New York for 3 days to model, and then I spent a winter in New York in a friend's windowless basement apartment. I was broke. I was taking class at the Joffrey Ballet, and my knees gave out. I realized I couldn't dance anymore, and I went into a major depression. My mom came over from South Africa and said, either you figure out what to do next or you come home, because you can sulk in South Africa. In 1994, Theron flew to Los Angeles on a one-way ticket her mother bought for her. She intended to work in the film industry. During her initial months there, she lived in a motel with the $300 budget that her mother had given her. She continued receiving checks from New York and lived from paycheck to paycheck. Theron stole bread from a basket in a restaurant to survive. One day, she went to a Hollywood Boulevard bank to cash a few checks, including one her mother had sent to help with the rent. However, the check from her mother was rejected because it was out of state and she was not an American citizen. Theron argued and pleaded with the bank teller until talent agent John Crosby, who was the next customer behind her, cashed it for her and gave her his business card. Crosby introduced Theron to an acting school. In 1995, she played her first non-speaking film role in the horror film Children of the Corn 3, Urban Harvest. In Theron's first speaking role, she portrayed hit woman Helga Svelgen in 2 Days in the Valley, 1996. Despite the film's mixed reviews, Theron drew attention due to her beauty into a scene in which she fought Terry Hatcher's character. Theron feared being typecast as characters similar to Helga and recalled being asked to repeat her performance in the film during auditions. A lot of people were saying, you should just hit while the iron's hot, but playing the same part over and over doesn't leave you with any longevity. And I knew it was going to be harder for me, because of what I look like, to branch out to different kinds of roles. When auditioning for Showgirls, Theron was introduced to talent agent J. Harris by co-casting director Johanna Ray. She recalled being surprised at how much faith Harris had in her potential. Theron has referred to Harris as her mentor. Harris found scripts and films for Theron in a variety of genres and encouraged her to become a producer. She served as Theron's agent for over 15 years. Breakthrough, 1997 to 2002. Theron's career expanded by the end of the 1990s. In the horror drama The Devil's Advocate, 1997, which is credited as her breakout film, Theron starred alongside Keanu Reeves and Al Pacino as the haunted wife of an unusually successful lawyer. She subsequently starred in the adventure film Mighty Joe Young, 1998, as the friend and protector of a giant mountain gorilla, and in the drama The Cider House Rules, 1999, as a woman who seeks an abortion in World War II-era Maine. While Mighty Joe Young flopped at the box office, The Devil's Advocate and The Cider House Rules were commercially successful. She appeared on the cover of the January 1999 issue of Vanity Fair as the White Hot Venus. The May 1999 issue of Playboy magazine also featured Theron on its cover. The photos of Theron used by Playboy had been taken several years earlier when she was an unknown model, and Theron unsuccessfully sued the magazine for publishing them without her consent. By the early 2000s, Theron continued to steadily take on roles in films such as Reindeer Games, 2000, The Yards, 2000, The Legend of Bagger Vance, 2000, Men of Honor, 2000, Sweet November, 2001, The Curse of the Jade Scorpion, 2001, and Trapped, 2002, all of which, despite achieving only limited commercial success, helped to establish her as an actress. On this period in her career, Theron remarked, I kept finding myself in a place where directors would back me but studios didn't. I began a love affair with directors, the ones I really, truly admired. I found myself making really bad movies, too. Reindeer Games was not a good movie, but I did it because I loved director John Frankenheimer. Worldwide recognition and critical success, 2003 to 2008. Theron on the cover of Ms. Magazine in 2005. Theron starred as a safe and vault technician in the 2003 heist film The Italian Job, an American homage/remake of the 1969 British film of the same name, directed by F. Gary Gray and opposite Mark Wahlberg, Edward Norton, Jason Statham, Seth Green, and Donald Sutherland. The film was a box office success, grossing $176 million worldwide. In Monster, 2003, Theron portrayed serial killer Aileen Wuornos, a former prostitute who was executed in Florida in 2002 for killing 6 men. She was not tried for a 7th murder. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, film critic Roger Ebert felt that Theron gave one of the greatest performances in the history of the cinema for her portrayal. She was awarded the Academy Award for Best Actress at the 76th Academy Awards in February 2004, as well as the Screen Actors Guild Award and the Golden Globe Award. She is the first South African to win an Oscar for Best Actress. The Oscar win pushed her to the Hollywood Reporter's 2006 list of highest-paid actresses in Hollywood, earning up to $10 million for a film. She ranked 7th. Ask Men named her the #1 most desirable woman of 2003. For her role as Swedish actress and singer Britt Ekland in the 2004 HBO film The Life and Death of Peter Sellers, Theron garnered Golden Globe Award and Primetime Emmy Award nominations. In 2005, she portrayed Rita, the mentally challenged love interest of Michael Bluth, Jason Bateman, on the third season of Fox's television series Arrested Development, and starred in the financially unsuccessful science fiction thriller Aeon Flux. For her voiceover work in the Aeon Flux video game, she received a Spike Video Game Award for Best Performance by a Human Female. Theron attending the premiere of North Country at the 2005 Toronto International Film Festival. In the critically acclaimed drama North Country, 2005, Theron played a single mother and an iron mine worker experiencing sexual harassment. David Rooney of Variety wrote, "The film represents a confident next step for lead Charlize Theron." Though the challenges of following a career-redefining Oscar role have stymied actresses, Theron segues from monster to a performance in many ways more accomplished. The strength of both the performance and character anchor the film firmly in the tradition of other dramas about working-class women leading the fight over industrial workplace issues, such as Norma Rae or Silkwood. Roger Ebert echoed the same sentiment, calling her an actress who has the beauty of a fashion model but has found resources within herself for these powerful roles about unglamorous women in the world of men. For her performance, she received Academy Award and Golden Globe Award nominations for Best Actress. Ms. Magazine honored her for this performance with a feature article in its fall 2005 issue. On September 30, 2005, Theron received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In 2007, Theron played a police detective in the critically acclaimed crime film In the Valley of Elah, and produced and starred as a reckless, slatternly mother in the drama film Sleepwalking, alongside Nick Stahl and Anna Sophia Robb. The Christian Science Monitor praised the latter film, commenting that despite its deficiencies and the inadequate screen time allotted to Theron, who is quite good, Sleepwalking has a core of feeling. In 2008, Theron starred as a woman who faced a traumatic childhood in the drama The Burning Plain, directed by Guillermo Arriaga and opposite Jennifer Lawrence and Kim Basinger, and played the ex-wife of an alcoholic superhero alongside Will Smith in the superhero film Hancock. The Burning Plain found a limited release in U.S. theaters, but grossed $5,267,917 outside the U.S. Hancock made $624.3 million worldwide. Also in 2008, Theron was named the Hasty Pudding Theatricals Woman of the Year, and was asked to be a UN Messenger of Peace by the UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon. Career hiatus and fluctuations, 2009 to 2016. Her film releases in 2009 were the post-apocalyptic drama The Road, in which she briefly appears in flashbacks, and the animated film Astro Boy, providing her voice for a character. On December 4, 2009, Theron co-presented the draw for the 2010 FIFA World Cup in Cape Town, South Africa, accompanied by several other celebrities of South African nationality or ancestry. During rehearsals, she drew an Ireland ball instead of France as a joke at the expense of FIFA, referring to Thierry Henry's handball controversy in the playoff match between France and Ireland. The stunt alarmed FIFA enough for it to fear she might do it again in front of a live global audience. Following a 2-year hiatus from films, Theron returned to the spotlight in 2011 with the black comedy Young Adult. Directed by Jason Reitman, the film earned critical acclaim, particularly for her performance as a depressed, divorced, alcoholic 37-year-old ghostwriter. Richard Roper awarded the film an A grade, stating Charlize Theron delivers one of the most impressive performances of the year. She was nominated for a Golden Globe Award and several other awards. Roger Ebert called her one of the best actors working today. Theron promoting Prometheus at the 2012 WonderCon. In 2012, Theron took on the role of villain in 2 big-budgeted films. She played evil Queen Ravenna, Snow White's evil stepmother, in Snow White and the Huntsman, opposite Kristen Stewart and Chris Hemsworth, and appeared as a crew member with a hidden agenda in Ridley Scott's Prometheus. Mick LaSalle of the San Francisco Chronicle found Snow White and the Huntsman to be a slow, boring film that has no charm and is highlighted only by a handful of special effects and Charlize Theron's truly evil queen, while The Hollywood Reporter writer Todd McCarthy, describing her role in Prometheus, asserted, "Theron is in ice goddess mode here, with the emphasis on ice, but perfect for the role all the same." Both films were major box office hits, grossing around $400 million US. Internationally the following year, Vulture/New York Mag named her the 68th most valuable star in Hollywood, saying, "We're just happy that Theron can stay on the list in a year when she didn't come out with anything. Any actress who's got that kind of skill, beauty, and ferocity ought to have a permanent place in Hollywood." On May 10, 2014, Theron hosted Saturday Night Live on NBC.in 2014. Theron took on the role of the wife of an infamous outlaw in the Western comedy film A Million Ways to Die in the West, directed by Seth MacFarlane, which was met with mediocre reviews and moderate box office returns. In 2015, Theron played the sole survivor of the massacre of her family in the film adaptation of the Gillian Flynn novel Dark Places, directed by Gilles Paquette-Brenner, in which she had a producer credit, and starred as Imperator Furiosa in Mad Max: Fury Road, 2015. Opposite Tom Hardy, Mad Max received widespread critical acclaim, with praise going towards Theron for the dominant nature taken by her character. The film made $378.4 million US worldwide. She next reprised her role as Queen Ravenna in the 2016 film The Huntsman, Winter's War, a sequel to Snow White and the Huntsman, which was a critical and commercial failure. In 2016, Theron starred as a physician and activist working in West Africa in the little-seen romantic drama The Last Face, with Sean Penn, provided her voice for the 3D stop-motion fantasy film Kubo and the Two Strings, and produced the independent drama Brain on Fire. That year, Time named her in the Time 100 list of the most influential people in the world. Resurgence, 2017 present. Theron at the 2017 San Diego Comic-Con. In 2017, Theron starred in The Fate of the Furious as the cyber-terrorist Cypher, the main antagonist of the entire franchise, and played a spy on the eve of the collapse of the Berlin Wall in 1989 in Atomic Blonde, an adaptation of the graphic novel The Coldest City, directed by David Leitch. The Fate of the Furious had a worldwide gross of $1.20 billion, and Atomic Blonde was described by Richard Roper of the Chicago Sun-Times as a slick vehicle for the magnetic, badass charms of Charlize Theron, who is now officially an A-list action star on the strength of this film and Mad Max: Fury Road. In the black comedy Tully, 2018, directed by Jason Reitman and written by Diablo Cody, Theron played an overwhelmed mother of three. The film was acclaimed by critics, who concluded it delves into the modern parenthood experience with an admirably deft blend of humor and raw honesty, brought to life by an outstanding performance by Charlize Theron. She played the president of a pharmaceutical corporation in the crime film Gringo and produced the biographical war drama film A Private War, both released in 2018. In 2019, Theron produced and starred in the romantic comedy film Longshot, opposite Seth Rogen and directed by Jonathan Levine, portraying a U.S. Secretary of State who reconnects with a journalist she used to babysit. The film had its world premiere at South by Southwest in March 2019 and was released on May 3, 2019, to positive reviews from film critics. Theron next starred as Megyn Kelly in the drama Bombshell, which she co-produced. Directed by Jay Roach, the film revolves around the sexual harassment allegations made against Fox News CEO Roger Ailes by former female employees. For her work in the film, Theron was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress, Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in a Motion Picture, Drama, Critics' Choice Movie Award for Best Actress, Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Leading Role, and BAFTA Award for Best Actress in a Leading Role, that same year. Forbes ranked her as the 9th highest-paid actress in the world, with an annual income of $23 million. In 2020, she produced and starred opposite Kiki Lane in The Old Guard, directed by Gina Prince-Bythewood. The following year, she reprised her role as Cypher in F9, originally set for release on 22 May 2020, before its delay to June 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2022, Theron appeared in some projects. Upon the film's release in May, it was revealed that Theron would be portraying the character Clea in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, beginning with her debut in the mid-credits scene of the superhero film Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. She played Lady Lesso in the fantasy Netflix film The School for Good and Evil and filmed a cameo in Season 3 opener of The Boys as an actress playing Stormfront. In 2023, Theron reprised her role as Cypher in Fast X and executive-produced Last Call, When a Serial Killer Stalked Queer New York, a documentary series revolving around a serial killer preying upon gay men for HBO. Other ventures. This article contains content that is written like an advertisement. Please help improve it by removing promotional content and inappropriate external links, and by adding encyclopedic content written from a neutral point of view. December 2023, learn how and when to remove this message. Activism. Theron speaking at a meeting of the World Economic Forum in 2013. The Charlize Theron Africa Outreach Project, CTOP, was created in 2007 by Theron in an effort to support African youth in the fight against HIV/AIDS. By November 2017, CTOP had raised more than $6.3 million to support African organizations working on the ground. In 2008, Theron was named a United Nations Messenger of Peace. In his citation, Ban Ki-moon said of Theron, "You have consistently dedicated yourself to improving the lives of women and children in South Africa and to preventing and stopping violence against women and girls." She recorded a public service announcement in 2014 as part of the UN's Stop Rape Now program. In December 2009, CTOP and Tom's Shoes partnered to create a limited edition unisex shoe. The shoe was made from vegan materials and inspired by the African baobab tree, the silhouette of which was embroidered on blue and orange canvas. 10,000 pairs were given to destitute children, and a portion of the proceeds went to CTOP. In 2020, CTOP partnered with Parfait Christian Dior to create Dior Stands with Women, an initiative that includes Cara Delevingne, Yalitza Aparicio, Paloma Alcacer, and others, to encourage women to be assertive by documenting their journey, challenges, and accomplishments. Theron is involved in women's rights organizations and has marched in pro-choice rallies. Theron is a supporter of same-sex marriage and attended a march and rally to support that in Fresno, California, on 30 May 2009 that she publicly stated that she refused to get married until same-sex marriage became legal in the United States, saying, "I don't want to get married because right now the institution of marriage feels very one-sided, and I want to live in a country where we all have equal rights. I think it would be exactly the same if we were married, but for me to go through that kind of ceremony, because I have so many friends who are gays and lesbians who would so badly want to get married, that I wouldn't be able to sleep with myself." Theron further elaborated on her stance in a June 2011 interview on Piers Morgan Tonight. She stated, "I do have a problem with the fact that our government hasn't stepped up enough to make this federal, to make gay marriage legal. I think everybody has that right." In March 2014, CTOP was among the charities that benefited from the annual Fame and Philanthropy fundraising event on the night of the 86th Academy Awards. Theron was an honored guest along with Halle Berry and keynote speaker James Cameron. In 2015, Theron signed an open letter which one campaign had been collecting signatures for. The letter was addressed to Angela Merkel and Casazana Dlamini Zuma, urging them to focus on women as they serve as the head of the G7 in Germany and the AU in South Africa respectively, which will start to set the priorities in development funding before a main UN summit in September 2015 that will establish new development goals for the generation. In August 2017, she visited South Africa with Trevor Noah and made a donation to the South African charity Life Choices. In 2018, she gave a speech about AIDS prevention at the 22nd International AIDS Conference in Amsterdam, organized by the International AIDS Society. On June 22, 2022, it was announced that Theron and Cheryl Lee Ralph would receive the Elizabeth Taylor Commitment to End AIDS Award for their commitment to raising awareness of HIV at the Elizabeth Taylor Ball to End AIDS fundraising gala. Endorsements. Having signed a deal with John Galliano in 2004, Theron replaced Estonian model Tiiu Kiik as the spokeswoman in the Jador advertisements by Christian Dior. In June 2024, Dior announced Theron will no longer be the face of Jador and be replaced by Barbadian singer and businesswoman Rihanna. In 2018, she appeared in a new advertisement for Dior Jador. From October 2005 to December 2006, Theron earned $3 million for the use of her image in a worldwide print media advertising campaign for Raymond Well watches. In February 2006, she and her production company were sued by Well for breach of contract. The lawsuit was settled on 4 November 2008. In 2018, Theron joined Brad Pitt, Daniel Wu, and Adam Driver as brand ambassadors for Breitling, dubbed the Breitling Cinema Squad. Relationships. Theron's first public relationship was with actor Craig Bierko, whom she dated from 1995 to 1997. Theron was in a 3-year relationship with singer Stephen Jenkins until October 2001. Some of Third Eye Blind's third album, Out of the Vein, explores the emotions Jenkins experienced as a result of their breakup. Theron began a relationship with Irish actor Stuart Townsend in 2001 after meeting him on the set of Trapped. The couple lived together in Los Angeles and Ireland. The couple split up in late 2009. In December 2013, Theron began dating American actor Sean Penn. The relationship ended in June 2015. There were reports they were engaged, and Theron said that they were never engaged. Theron starred in Penn's film The Last Face, 2016, which they filmed while still a couple. Health concerns. Theron often quips that she has more injuries on sets that are not action films. However, while filming Aeon Flux in Berlin, Theron suffered a herniated disc in her neck, caused by a fall while filming a series of back handsprings. It required her to wear a neck brace for a month. Her thumb ligament tore during filming of The Old Guard when her thumb caught in another actor's jacket during a fight scene, which required 3 operations and 6 months in a thumb brace. During the filming of Atomic Blonde, she broke teeth from clenching her jaw and had dental surgery to remove them. I had the removal and I had to put a donor bone in there to heal until I came back, and then I had another surgery to put a metal screw in there. Outside of action films, she had a herniated disc in her lower back as she filmed Tully and suffered from a depression-like state, which she theorized was the result of the processed food she had to eat for her character's postnatal body. In July 2009, she was diagnosed with a serious stomach virus, thought to be contracted while overseas. While filming The Road, Theron injured her vocal cords while screaming during the labor scenes. When promoting Longshot, she revealed that she laughed so hard at Borat that her neck locked for 5 days. She added that on the set of Longshot she ended up in the ER after knocking her head against a bench behind her when she was putting on knee pads.